How successful was Stalin's agricultural collectivization? How successful was Stalin's agricultural collectivization? This question takes us back to a pivotal moment in Soviet history. During the late 1920s, Joseph Stalin aimed to transform agriculture in the Soviet Union. His plan was to consolidate individual farms into large collective farms, known as kolkhozy, and state farms, referred to as sovkhozy. The goal was to boost agricultural productivity and ensure the state could control grain production and distribution. Collectivization was intended to modernize agriculture. By introducing mechanization, Stalin hoped to improve efficiency. The primary objectives were to increase agricultural output, reduce reliance on individual farming, and guarantee a steady grain supply for urban populations and export. The implementation of this policy was rapid. Between October 1929 and early 1930, the number of peasant households in collective farms surged. However, this quick pace led to chaos and resistance. Many peasants were unwilling to give up their land and livestock. In protest, they destroyed their animals and equipment, fearing they would lose their livelihoods. The consequences were dire. The push for collectivization resulted in a sharp decline in agricultural production. This decline was particularly devastating in Ukraine, where the policies contributed to a catastrophic famine known as the Holodomor. Millions of people died as a result of this famine, which stemmed from forced relocations and the disruption of traditional farming practices. Despite these challenges, some argue that collectivization had its successes. From a communist perspective, it allowed the Soviet government to secure grain surpluses. These surpluses supported the growing industrial workforce and facilitated rapid industrialization. Over time, collectivization did lead to the modernization of agriculture, with mechanized farming techniques becoming more common. In the context of communist ideology, collectivization was seen as a necessary step toward achieving a socialist economy. The aim was to eliminate private property in agriculture and create greater social and economic equality. However, the brutal implementation and the immense human suffering it caused raise questions about its overall success. While Stalin's agricultural collectivization achieved some economic goals, such as supporting industrialization, it was marked by extreme human suffering and agricultural inefficiencies. The policy's legacy remains a topic of debate, with some viewing it as a necessary step towards socialist development and others seeing it as a tragic example of forced social change.